30. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 31. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's sunny and 11 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The genuine, the original. Now, the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Fired up to be here with Chris Ranji and Matt Pajeski and Frank Ladd.
You're just happy the Rams lost. I know it.
I'm still glowing that it's been a week, but
the Hoosiers.
National champs.
The Hoosiers.
I mean, at this point, come on. What is it? What does anything even matter anymore?
Do you think
Indiana
Indiana
champions?
You think Indiana could beat the Rams?
My daughter asked me that last night. She said, "Dad, could Indiana beat the worst NFL team?" And I said, "Absolutely not. They would lose by 40."
A lot, yeah.
Yeah. You remember Joel Bushbaum back in the day?
Yeah, we used to call him on the phone. Really,
Somebody called in. I used to host the show with him on Sunday night. Someone called in, and this is when Nebraska was just steamrolling people, late 90s, early 2000s. What would be the score? In the Browns or the Bengals were the worst team in the NFL at that point. And someone said, "Joel, what would be the score if Nebraska played the Bengals right now?" He goes, Bengals 45, Nebraska 7. That was the end of that. End of discussion.
That's it. I love that exercise just because I love being able to tell people who are asking the question earnestly how dumb of a question it actually is. Because any professional football team, no matter how bad, is always infinitely better than the best college team.
Yeah.
No,
totally.
You have nothing but professional talent on it. So it's a fun exercise.
Yeah.
It's just not really an exercise.
No, not really. But it'll be fun to watch some of those college players develop into great NFL stars. Fernando Mendoza, I'm assuming, will be the number one pick in the draft of the Raiders. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point.
Just in time to get ruined.
Well, we'll see. We'll see who ends up coaching him. He's got some talent there. Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, and I will be a Raiders fan. Anyway. This will be the last Super Bowl for me without an NFL team because once the Super Bowl is over, I do become a Raiders fan. I'll be watching Seahawks and Patriots in the Super Bowl. We're going to get to some Cardinal stuff in just a second, but we got to get right off the top. I mean, it's the most watched sporting event in America. It is the Super Bowl. And Seahawks, Patriots. Seahawks 4.5-point favorite. I think it'd be a great football game. I really do. I think both teams are great and deserving to be there.
Yeah, I don't think the Patriots are as good. There's a reason that they are a 4.5 dog in this game, and maybe that line moves a little bit, but probably not. Got a couple of weeks until the next game. I think that maybe New England is fortunate that the injury to Bo Nix happened because we saw how much difficulty Denver had moving the ball late in the game once the snow started coming down. I don't know they have that difficulty if Nix is the quarterback in the game yesterday afternoon. And by the way, that's one of those really, just from a viewer perspective, it's fun to watch games like that. I don't know that I want my teams to participate in a game like that where it is perfectly dry in the first quarter, and by the time you get to the fourth quarter, you can't see the field. I don't know that I would like that if it's deciding who's going to the Super Bowl, but clearly the elements were a big deal yesterday afternoon. But I think Denver still wins that one if Nix is available and playing as opposed to them having to go with Stiddy.
I think Denver wins that one yesterday if Sean Payton takes the field goal. If he takes the points.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you got a shot there. Meanwhile, he didn't look at the forecast. I mean, the second half was going to be rough, windy, and snowy, and points were at a premium, so he gave up the chance, went for it, didn't get it, left 3 points on the table, and as it turns out, they lose by 3 points.
Now, I'll tell you, I think over the course of a season, I know the analytics are saying that you go for it more often than not, that if you're at a 4th and 1 situation or a 4th and short or something like that, that you go for it and you keep pressing, right? And I think that over the course of the year, it's going to turn out in your favor most of the time. However, we've already seen it a couple of times in these playoffs. It cost the Bears because they left probably 6 or 9 points on the board because they decided not to kick field goals, and they went for it instead. And the same thing happened yesterday. So, I mean, these coaches are, look, I trust the analytics for the most part, but there are going to be some times where you really need to go with your gut and maybe just take the points and live to fight another day. And some of these coaches are not doing it, and it is costing them.
Yeah, analytics don't factor in the weather. That's the problem. See,
analytics
didn't know what was coming in the second half. Analytics might have cost them the game, but I totally understand. By the way, I mean, look, don't make me like the Patriots because I never did like them, but they're very likable. I mean, and I will say this: who has the better quarterback right now? Is it Drake May or is it Sam Darnold? I like Sam Darnold a lot. I have never heard anyone say one bad word about him. I hear he's a great guy. I think he's a heck of a player. But Drake May, when he's at his best, is better than Darnold. And I will contend that I think the coach of the Patriots is slightly better. Now, McDonald's a hell of a coach, and they're a great team. But I would not – what I'm saying is don't count out this Patriots team. They will have a plan. They are tough. They'll turn out tons of fans, so will Seattle. They'll travel across the country. Don't worry about that. It'll be a fun game between the Patriots and the Seahawks. I would probably favor the Seahawks in this, and I'd probably give the Patriots 4.5, and I think the Seahawks can cover. But I've been touting the Seahawks all year, but I watch that Patriots team. They're tough, man. That's not an easy place to win. I don't care who's the quarterback for Denver. So it'll be a good football game.
You know, I am not prepared for another Patriots championship.
I'm not either.
I'm just not.
But absolutely.
I can't do this again, Tom.
To answer your question earlier, amen that the Rams are out of there. Absolutely.
Dude.
Come on.
But
not even close.
Dude, I can't do this Patriots thing again. We just did 20 years of it.
Yeah.
You're going to ask me to do it again?
Well, they're not going to be a dynasty. I mean, they're a nice team.
I don't want to stomach another parade.
They could win this thing. But, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you have no Mahomes, no Allen, no Burrow, no Lamar Jackson. You know, a lot of these stars are out. It's Drake May against Sam Darnold. It's defense against defense. It's coach against coach. It's two really good football teams that play hard, that play disciplined, and I like them both.
Tom, when Adam Vinatieri kicked that first game winner as the clock ran out against the Rams, I didn't think that was the start of a dynasty.
I was there.
I didn't think that.
I didn't think Tom Brady was going to start in the game. I thought Drew Bledsoe was going to start.
Yes. I did not think that was the start of a 20-year run. If they do this to me again.
Let me tell you a little story. That on Bourbon Street the night before the game.
I was down there. I didn't go to the game, but I was in the French Quarter.
There was a little Patriots fan running his mouth. And he kind of popped up. He popped up in our group of people and was running his mouth about how they're going to shock the world. And I went up to him, put my arm around him. We were talking. I said, "Hey, buddy, listen, we're going to kill you tomorrow, and there's nothing you can do about it." And he goes, "You'll remember me. You'll remember me." And here I am telling the story about the little Patriots fan who's got to be a happy guy. The guy won 6 Super Bowls.
He didn't know that was the start of that.
No, but Brady was impressive. But what was impressive was how they stole all the Rams plays in the walkthrough the day before. Anyway, we'll take a break and we will talk to Amy Markscores about the Blues. We'll talk to Bob Ramsey about the Billikens. But I tease this. Let me just say real quick about Brendan Donovan. So Chaim Bloom was on the show yesterday. Maybe we'll just discuss this in the last segment. But Chaim was on the show yesterday if you want to go back and listen to the whole interview. But I did ask him directly about Donovan on Sports on a Sunday morning. And he acknowledged that, yes, they are still looking and fielding calls about Donovan. He would like some clarity one way or the other before camp starts. He indicated that they're in a position where they can listen to the best offers. Did not sound to me like somebody who is rushing to trade Donovan and would be very satisfied, although he didn't use these words, to have Donovan on the roster this season and then see what they have at the trade deadline. Doesn't seem like there's any rush on the part of Chaim Bloom and the Cardinals to trade Donovan. Now, they could be blown away by an offer here in the next couple of weeks, and that tune may change. But that's what I gathered.
Well, I hope they are not overvaluing him like that report from a couple of weeks ago that the Cardinals see him as a bigger star than other teams do, where he might end up being more valuable to them than he would be to other teams. And if that's the case and they are intent on moving him and opening things up in the lineup a little bit, then they might have to just take what they can get. It's not saying they should be stupid about it, and they shouldn't still search for the best deal, because, yeah, you should do that, but don't get caught thinking he is a superstar when other teams just do not value him that way, unless you're willing to just hang on to him for the next couple of years or whatever, and I don't think that's where they are.
Maybe they're going to gamble that he's even better when healthy.
And that's a pretty big gamble.
After his procedure, that he is going to be healthy this time and that he will blow people away with his first half of the season to the point where they're going to get a bigger return for Brendan when teams are kind of on the hook and really needing somebody like that to make a push. But we'll see. But I'm not saying they're not going to trade him. My odds are going a little more towards 50-50 now for the next couple of weeks. He could very well be dealt, but we'll see what happens. We will take a quick break and talk some hockey. KT will not give up. Every show that I do, he pops up and said, today's January 26th, and still no one who can hit 20 home runs this season. KT, I'm going to say it again. There are 3 on this team who can hit 20 home runs. And if I'm proven wrong at the end of the year, then I'm proven wrong. Ivan Herrera, Alec Burleson, Nolan Gorman would be 3rd on that list. Okay? So there's your answer. There are 3.
Look, KT is, that somebody right there is persistent, and you reward persistence, don't you?
Yeah. Jordan Walker, the real third man thinks Jordan Walker. I'm not going to go there. But I think the other 3 can get the job done.
Feel free to send us messages on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter,
messages.
Or text us, 314-436-7900.
I love messages. I love the fans. Let's go to Genesis of St. Charles, genesisofstcharles.com. You know what? I'm a big fan of them. I'm a big fan of Shea, the general manager. What I'd like you to do is stroll in there. And on a day like today, that'd be a nice place to hang out, nice and warm. They got great coffee. They got TVs everywhere. They have leather sofas. They got it decked out. Yeah, it sounds like a high-end hotel. It's because that's what it feels like. But there are cars there. Genesis vehicles, as a matter of fact, great vehicles. And Genesis has the best price on those Genesis vehicles. In fact, they are the #1 Genesis dealer in the state of Missouri. All you have to do is go to genesisofstcharles.com and unlock the E-price. Then go in there with your E-price, and you can get to work. Test driving the Genesis vehicles is a great experience. Last time I was in there, I test drove 2 of them with Audrey, my daughter, with me. She loves the Genesis vehicles, and we love the experience of Genesis. Genesis of St. Charles, you're going to really enjoy the experience. They take great care of you throughout your purchase, and by the way, they give you the best deal on your trade, too. genesisofstcharles.com.
Event. Need it today? Order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Shop for your bathroom refresh at Lowe's. We help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Same-day delivery on eligible in-stock items, subject to availability. Fees vary. Visit Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for full terms.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX, my official sportsbook as well. And this is it, guys. It's the last call out for football on FanDuel. Big game is coming up here, and there's one final Sunday, one last kickoff, and the final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab on the year. And this is Super Bowl 60. FanDuel's making sure that you're in on it. If you're a customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, you can make it count, because after the Super Bowl, the season's over and football is officially done. So it's your last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
When it comes to lighting, Gray Bar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Gray Bar mode. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is Carol Daniel. I'm so proud to be part of KMOX's 100 years of broadcasting excellence. Congratulations.
Welcome back to the Gashouse Gang with Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. Thank you so much for making this show as successful as it's been. Our listeners are unbelievable on the Gashouse Gang, man. Just making an appointment listening.
Dude.
You know?
Yeah, they're the best.
We just love it. No, go ahead, Amy.
Everybody listens to the Gashouse Gang. You
Yeah,
have
they do.
to.
It's crazy,
You can't
man.
miss it.
It's crazy.
Because they know what will happen if they don't.
What'll happen?
No, Ron, we told you not to do this.
I've been threatening everybody.
That's how. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Like, you
dude.
better listen.
Good job.
He said he
You know what's
threatens to
good for
come
you.
to people's houses.
Oh, sure.
Are you listening to the Gashouse
Yeah.
Gang?
I know. Harrison Bader to the Giants.
Oh.
And
This just in.
Dylan Carlson to the Cubs. Minor league deal.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, he's been hurt, though. He's had a lot of injury stuff.
Yeah. He's going to have a good year if he makes the team. I think Cubs are going to be
Spring
really
training invite for Carlson.
good. Okay. Cubs are going to be really good. Let's talk some hockey with Amy Markscore. She is in. The Blues are not good. They just cannot. They can't get this thing going. They win at home, they lose on the road, and then they drop their 4-game home winning streak, 5-4 in a shootout to the Kings. It's just gotten to that point where I start to wonder, when do they start selling off pieces? That's where I am.
I know, and I don't know. And how exactly do they do that when the core, like a Kyrou, Thomas, Buchnevich, have full no-trade clauses until 31? Now, yes, there's a chance that any of those guys could waive those no-trade clauses because they want to go somewhere and win, or they realize it's not working out here. So that's definitely the downside of things. Plus, losing isn't very much fun. You forget how much fun winning is until you finally get a win and think, oh, wow, this is a lot better than losing. However, I don't think it's all negative. One reason is watching the Blues young forwards, first-round draft picks from 2023 and 2022. You look at Jimmy Snuggerud, you look at Dalibor Dvorsky, and Otto Stenberg. I just think huge upsides on all of those guys. I think the sky's the limit for Jimmy Snuggerud. His shot's insane. And every game, I feel like it's a bit more insane. He's finding out. He said this himself. He didn't realize what a shooter he was until he just started shooting more. And he's also a great passer. He's got great hockey sense. You know, the phrase that hockey people like to throw around, but he really does have that. We have watched Dalibor Dvorsky mature before our eyes as a player, where he's starting to come into his own and realize the power that he has and the shot that he has, working on his face-offs, taking that very seriously. And because if you're going to be playing on the power play, you're going to take those key offensive zone face-offs, and that all hinges on whether or not you have puck possession. Otto Stenberg has stepped up his play, and I've really liked seeing him. He's been on the ice in the final 60 seconds of a game when the game is actually close, which shows you the type of faith that Jim Montgomery has in Otto Stenberg. So I think those are really big positives. We already mentioned Philip Broberg and the contract extension with him. That is a great move. So do you see maybe the core waive their no trade clauses? Maybe. Do you see a Shen and a Bennington go somewhere so they can win towards the end of their careers? Maybe. But I am looking forward to the future for this team. And this is going to sound, I hope this comes out right, but there were so many hopes for this team for this season.
Mm-hmm.
They might accidentally tank. Like, they're not tanking. This is them trying, but somehow they're the second worst team in the league. And if they are the worst team in the league, they've got a 25% chance of getting that number one overall draft pick. And you never want a team to tank. And I don't want them to tank, but somehow I feel like we've held out hope. They just need to turn it around. Man, this team was good at the end of last year. And the next thing you know, we are over the halfway point of the season. They're the second worst team in the league, and they might have accidentally gotten themselves into position to get the first overall pick.
So the trade deadline's March 6th. They have a couple of times in the last, 6 years now, the way they've played post December,
Right.
like once they've gotten into the new year, has dictated what they do. One year it worked out for them really well, that they decided not to sell. And that was the Cup year. And then another time last year, they played really well coming out. They weren't sellers, obviously.
One year they were sellers. This was back, 16, 17. They traded Paul Stastny, and the team took it personally and then got themselves into the playoffs.
Yeah. So has the decision basically been made this time that, they're...
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, it's
late January.
Yeah, and they're the second worst team in the league. And, of course, we know in January in 2019 they were the worst team in the league. But the goal differential is far and away the worst. What, tied with Vancouver, or worse goal differential than Vancouver, who is the worst team in the league. Their power play is abysmal. Their goaltending has struggled. They can't score goals. I mean, it's pretty bad all the way around. The numbers don't look good. So, yeah, I think the decision's made. It's just, what does that look like? And I don't know. And how much is going to be left for Alexander Steen to do in the summer? I don't know. I don't know.
Either.
Yeah.
I don't either. I think the future's bright. I agree with you on Snuggerud, Dvorsky, Stenberg. They've got some good young guys that can play. And, eventually Justin Carbonneau, although he's playing in juniors, he's got 5 goals in his last 5 games. He's just a goal-scoring machine. So, eventually you're going to see him, but he's so young. They're a little ways away, but it'll be an interesting offseason and midseason, as it turns out. Let's talk about something a little more pleasant. Today's Wayne Gretzky's birthday. Wayne, one of the best things about him is, and Pat Maroon told me this one time, he never forgets a name. He has one of those minds where he'll walk by and be like, Amy, great interview the other day. Everybody enjoyed. Of course, he's the greatest player of all time, but he's just an enjoyable person to be around. He cares about the game, and he loves St. Louis.
Yeah.
And he's spent a lot of time here. Happy birthday to the great one. He's 65 today.
65. He is the reason why I'm a hockey fan. I mean, it's funny, that trade to get Wayne Gretzky to St. Louis changed the course of my life in the sense of the way that I started to fall in love with hockey, because I was truly a football first person until that moment. I loved sports, but I was a football first person. And when Gretzky came to the Blues, I knew just enough that, this is a really, really big deal. I was 12, and so I knew it was a big deal. And my friend Megan and she's like, you can watch the Blues practices. Come on. And, we were able to catch some Blues practices, and then I kept going to those Blues practices, but so much fun to watch. And, you talk about him remembering names and faces. when he was a little kid and he would listen to the hockey games on the radio or watch Hockey Night in Canada on TV, his dad would give him a sheet of paper that had an ice rink drawn on it, and he had to track the puck with a pencil and follow along with the play-by-play, rims it around the boards, now it's in the slot, shoots it over the neutral zone, and then he would see where the pen marks were the heaviest, and he would see just how the puck moved around the ice in the game, because, of course, you don't want to go where the puck is, you want to go where the puck will be. I mean, just next level as a kid. And then, of course, he got the bald spot shaved into his head like Gordie Howe, because he idolized Gordie Howe when he was 8 or 9 years old. So he went and got his hair cut, and they put a bald spot in for him.
It's adorable.
How adorable is that?
Also, he told me was a huge baseball fan growing up. And to the point where, when he received that Musial Award a few years ago at Stiefel Theater, he was just blown away because he loves St. Louis, partly because of its baseball history. But congratulations to my man Wayne Gretzky on celebrating a 65th birthday. Happy birthday to him. He is just tremendous. Just love number 99. The fact that he's part of the St. Louis community makes us pretty cool, I would say. You can say Wayne Gretzky, part-time, hangs out here. Amy, you're pretty cool, and you're going to be doing a show on Wednesday with Chris Kerber.
6 p.m., Matrix Midwest.
Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
No,
I love it.
We're all excited for you.
I know. I appreciate it.
We love that you do this show.
You're my greatest cheerleaders.
You are.
Very excited.
You're a blues broadcaster.
Why, thank you.
What do you think about that?
I think it's amazing.
I think it's pretty incredible. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to the voice of the Billikens. Well, it is. I've known Amy a long time.
I know.
I'm proud of her.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
That was the first fangirl moment with Sports on a Sunday Morning with Tom Ackerman. I freaked out.
You fangirled over Tom?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Amy, reel it in.
The voice of the Billikens, Bob Ramsey, is going to be with us next. The Billikens are hot, folks. They're the best team in town. They're ranked 24th in the country.
Get their 20th win tomorrow.
They may move up here in a half hour when the top 25 comes out. Back in a moment on KMOX.
And then, from somewhere beyond the gray, a sound breaks through. Pitchers and catchers report. Baseball takes back center stage. Hope returns, guiding you through it all. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, Bernie Miklasz, and suddenly your rush hour sucks a little less. Rush Hour Sports, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's cold out there, boys and girls. It's 11 degrees and mostly sunny in St. Louis, high of 16. The low tonight will be 8.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
My best friend Jenny came over for coffee, said it's cold enough in here to play hockey. Well, my furnace broken, it's already late. Call Jerry Kelly because they're open till 8. JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. Jerry Kelly.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house? On the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Selling your home? Every situation is unique. Find the best options that are right for you from the real estate team who offer more options. My friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out the only agents I trust. Go to thegelmanteam.com. That's thegelmanteam.com.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
What a night. Unbelievable. Coach Schmidt and Coach Schertz embrace. Final score, Earl, 97-62 in league play on the road. What a night for the Billikens.
Yeah, it really jumps out at you. I went to the chili supper at Ladue High School on that Friday night to go catch Ladue basketball, boys, and then the girls play after them. And I had in my ear my AirPods listening to the Billikens game because it was early. Yeah. It was a 4:30 tip. And I'm like, are you kidding me? What the heck is going on here? They're up 40-13 at the under 8 timeout of the first half.
Team is rolling, man. And I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to go watch them play against G-Dub. And before the game starts, you should know, Tom, and I think you already do, they have moved up in the rankings. The SLU men's basketball team is now 21st in the AP poll, 22nd in the coaches poll. They are 19th in the net. So they're getting the attention they deserve.
I'll be there as well, and so will this man, the voice of the Billikens. Bob Ramsey is with us. His report, sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. What's up, Rammer?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's great to see the sun out and to talk to my buddies and talk Billiken hoops.
Well, life is good in Billiken land, I'll tell you that. And after their subpar game against Duquesne, and they won it 81-77, I think Coach Schertz challenged them, and boy, did they deliver. I mean, that was just an absolute clinic against St. Bonaventure.
It was really fantastic. And I think, to your point about Coach challenging the team, at the beginning of the second half at St. Bonaventure, the Billikens came out and didn't quite match the energy that St. Bonaventure had. And you knew they'd come out. Mark Schmidt's a terrific coach. And he called an early timeout. If anybody remembers, beginning of the second half, called an early timeout. And then from then on, it was just academic after that. Came out, reestablished control of the game. Ishan Sharma had a career night. And it was just, 29 points. The team tied and set a record 19 threes. I mean, it was just craziness. And the efficiency was maybe more incredible than anything. And I've been talking all offense, and the real incredible thing is probably the defense. And people will look at all the offensive numbers, appropriately so, but don't sleep on the defensive numbers. And I think that's what's making the record as gaudy as it is.
Well, that was the thing Schertz last week said that he wasn't happy about, and I know I'm paraphrasing here, but he was not happy with the defensive effort. And what does it say about the team that not only do they respond when they have a bad defensive performance and they come right back and then don't, but then also can win a game when they're not playing their best? What does that say about them and him?
Well, it talks about it goes to depth and talent, athleticism, and that you can overcome some mistakes. Now, you don't want to test it by not being emotionally locked in, and that's coach and the staff's job, right, to get everybody locked in. And the practices between the Duquesne win and the St. Bonaventure win were as good as I've seen all year. really, really locked in. But also, what I felt maybe more than any other team I've been around with the Billikens is even in practice, the team plays with joy and embracing each other as teammates and embracing each other's success. And I think they logically understand that everybody else's success, when you add it all up, becomes team success. And I think those are the kinds of things we're looking at.
Rammer, I'm going to go the other way on this just for devil's advocate, because this is what I hear a lot. And that is, and you know what I'm driving at here, people will come up to me and say, yeah, but who have they played? I mean, their schedule, I'm not so sure. Have they been challenged, really? How do you respond to that, Rammer? And obviously you and I, and Ranj, for that matter, have watched a ton of Billiken basketball, so we know what we see. But how do you respond to a naysayer who maybe hasn't seen them as much?
I would say don't talk to a Billiken person. Go look at the objective ratings. Go to Ken Palm and Torvik and all those others and see what they say, because they're objective. To get into a conversation with a Billiken person, my answer would be, well, just because you haven't played everybody doesn't mean you can't beat anybody. And I think, all you can point to is, don't play into the elitist narrative. The Power Four don't want to play mid-majors, and in fact are colluding not to. But your 2-0 quad one games, you can only play what's on your schedule. And now, having said that, the ACC, the Big Ten, the SEC, and the Big 12, my gosh, that's a meat grinder. Mm-hmm. And you absolutely have to respect teams that play that kind of a conference schedule and win most of their games. So those two angles aren't mutually exclusive. Both can be true.
Do you think, and I know we're kind of getting ahead here, but do you think that the committee, when it's time to put that tournament together, do they do and even though some of these mid-major conferences, they have representation when the committee gets together, but do you think that overall they do a good enough job of recognizing that some of these schools like the Billikens or like some of the Missouri Valley schools have a difficult time with scheduling better opponents early in the year? Do you think they give enough weight to that?
I don't know how. I think that's an unanswerable question. I don't know how you would, without being there and without talking to every member of the committee. Because keep in mind, it's a vote. Look at the Academy Awards. Look at political elections. It's a vote. Hall of Fame, and so everybody can have a different take. But I do know they put a ton of work in. When you talk to people who had previously been on the committee, the work is there. The numbers, breakdowns, and all the analytics are there. The NCAA themselves use the net ranking. So to ignore what their own rankings say, that would be kind of alarming. The other part is, though, look at our pal Joe Lunardi, who does the bracketology on ESPN. And now, keep in mind, he's not looking at the rankings today. He's trying to project what will happen. So he's trying to look ahead and not at SLU or any other school in sort of a bubble or look at them in a myopic way. He's trying to put it all together and kind of get a prediction of what will happen. He had the Bills, I think it was through Saturday, as an 8 seed. Well, that would tell me that you're ranked 32nd or worse. So I'm not sure what he's seeing down the road, but Joe takes it very, very seriously. And so those are the variables that are hard to answer until you get to that selection Sunday. And sometimes then we don't get an answer.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. If they're an 8 seed, I'd be a little concerned if I was a 1 seed. I'll tell you that much. I would in the NCAA tournament, but we got to get there to get there. Now, last thing, George Washington, 4-3 record in the league, but the 3 losses, one was at Dayton, one was at George Mason, obviously 2 of the best teams in the league, and the other one was to Davidson, who's also 4-3. My point is, Rammer, this is a good GW team, isn't it?
They're pretty darn good. And I think when you look at it, one of the keys to their situation is just the overall talent and how they have really come on. Last year, they were pretty good. And here's the interesting stat. Of the all-conference teams in the Atlantic 10 last year, I think it's 3. And of all 3 of those all-conference teams, only 2 players return to the Atlantic 10, which is kind of a statement of college basketball today, right? But also what we're looking at. Those 2 players are Robbie Avila and Rafael Castro of George Washington. 6'11", 220 pounds. A couple of the Billiken coaches separately told me they think he could be the best player in the league. So you start to kind of put those things together. They're starting to get continuity. Chris Caputo is in his fourth year at George Washington. So he's taken a little time and trying to build this thing up as he goes, and they've gotten better each year under him. So, yeah, this is going to be a real challenge. It'll be real interesting how the Billikens guard Castro, and moreover, how GW wants to guard Robbie. Do you put a big out on Robbie, leaving the rim less protected? Do you drop the big guy, put a smaller player on Robbie, and let him do his work on the perimeter, not only with three-point shooting, but with setting up teammates? And those are the cat and mouse games, the chess matches that I think are fascinating.
St. Louis University, 21st ranked team in the nation, will be hosting George Washington tomorrow night. Bob Ramsey, Earl Austin Jr. with the call on KMOX at 7. Pregame at 6:45. Tickets available. I'd snap them up before this place sells out at Chaffetz Arena. And Rammer, we appreciate you. Your Billiken Report is sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri.
Hey, manage your money at any time with digital banking from Royal Banks of Missouri, where you can monitor your accounts, deposit checks, add your debit card, your mobile wallet, and all kinds of things that the digital world provides at Royal Banks. It's all from your device. All you got to do is download the Royal Banks mobile app and get started. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
KMOX, celebrating 100 years. Presented by Purina, your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
From the moment he joined KMOX in 1946, Rex Davis became one of the most trusted and authoritative news voices in St. Louis. His commanding delivery and journalistic integrity helped define the station's identity for decades. His work on Total Information AM, alongside Bob Hardy, made it one of the most successful morning news programs in the nation. At its peak, heard by an astonishing 33% of the local radio audience.
This is Rex Davis. I'm asking you to join me for a special KMOX radio program in celebration of Independence Day, 1964.
But Rex also had a lighter side. His playful exchanges on The Jack Carney Show revealed the humor behind the headline voice listeners trusted. Rex Davis, a KMOX pioneer.
Big game, big screen, big energy at Ballpark Village, Sunday, February 8th. Enjoy the big game like you're in the end zone, featuring in-arena touchdown celebrations, fan cams, contest VIP packages, and more, hosted by RDJ and DJ Dex. Save up to $10 on tickets with code KMOX. Tickets and event details at stlballparkvillage.com/events. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me!
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker.
Yes.
Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
Oh! There's never been anything like this. Let's go.
UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
Just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history. From moment to memory.
Presenting the Barnyard Follies.
Among those voices, Bill Wilkerson.
He fakes drop sets, looking, throwing upfield. It is.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about 213 Complex. Now you can pick that up at supplement superstores, and quite simply, 213 Complex is the most effective and powerful all-natural weight loss supplement ever developed. Here's what it's doing for me and what it'll do for you. Boost the metabolism, gets it working at full go all the time. Helps with cravings, and man, that's a big deal for me. All-day focus energy with no jitters, no crash at the end of the day. It's a great tool for achieving your goals. Get out to supplement superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will knock 30% off your 213 Complex, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Now, back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, Overhead Tour Company of St. Louis, on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All right, let's go through some of these comments. The Gashouse Gang. If you're not aware, we have a video component to the show. We're on YouTube, we're on X, we're on Facebook, we're everywhere.
That's right. Gashouse Gang. Find KMOX Sports on Facebook, on Twitter, at KMOX Sports. Yeah. Come on.
So GT Slow-Mo responded to KT and said Herrera should hit 20 if he stays healthy. I agree. John's very nice, said we're Class X. Wish we were on longer.
John?
Actually, this is all Chris and I can stand of each other, just an hour.
Buddy, don't tell people that. They're going to believe it. Should we just let people think that there's a lot of sandpaper between the two of us?
They can tell. They can tell we're buddies.
Yeah.
In fact, John's going so far, he wishes we were on till 5. Let's
settle down, John.
Settle down. You know, Chris goes on at 9 and I go on at 5 a.m.
Yeah, we're not staying till 5, you lunatic. What's the matter with you? What do you think we are?
Thanks for the compliment, though.
We're not working in an ER. We're not doing 12-hour shifts over here.
Justin wants to know, how are they going to put JJ on the 40-man roster and make the opening day roster? What happens if he has a real good? It's going to be okay. If JJ Weatherhold has a good spring training, he's going to be on this big league roster. Don't worry about it. Donovan's not blocking anybody. I mean, he could move over and play third for a little while. Donovan, the great thing about Donovan is that he can move around. So you can put him in the outfield. You can put him at second. You can put him at third. I'm sure he could do even more than that if you asked him to. Alan said on Twitter, you're missing, I don't know if he's directing this at me or you or both of us. He said, you're missing the point of shopping Donovan. The only reason to trade him is to get more out of him than he's worth. If a team wants to overpay, the Cardinals will oblige. Otherwise, hang on to him until someone is desperate. I think that's what we said, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we understand that idea. What I'm saying is you want to make sure that you don't get caught in this situation where they are overvaluing. The Cardinals are overvaluing him, and other teams don't see him the same way as they do. So they just say, well, we're not going to move on. We're just going to keep him because we're not getting what we want in return. And therefore, you might be stalling some progress for one of the younger guys. You know, that's the spot I don't want them to get in. I don't think they're going to. I'm just saying I want them to avoid that trap, because it is possible that they just think Brendan Donovan's a superstar, and other teams are like, well, we think he's good, but we don't think he's as good as you think he is. And there was reporting on that a couple of weeks ago. I'm not just pulling that out of nowhere. So I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying I do not want them to get to that spot.
Mitchell says watching the young players is fun, but being the second to worst team in the league just makes me sad. I get that. I mean, we won a lot around here. We watched the Cardinals hang some banners. We watched the Cardinals hang some bunting around the stadium with all those playoff games. We had a lot of fun around here. I get it. It's bittersweet. It's the first time we've had this in a long time. Do you think Fermin or Sajasi make the opening day roster? They would be right-handed bats off the bench. I think there's a shot.
That's from Justin.
At either of those, Justin. I think that there's still a move to be made, and Heim is looking for, you acknowledged this yesterday, looking for a right-handed bat. Doesn't have to be a veteran necessarily, like a longtime veteran, but he does want a versatile right-handed bat, and they are shopping for that person.
Let me go back to the question or the comment. He said something about them being second to worst record or something along those lines. I forgot what, or
Mitchell,
whatever.
There it is.
Whatever it was. That, this is Mitchell on YouTube saying, watching the young players is fun. Being the second to worst team in the league just makes me sad. Okay. And like Tom said, I agree. It is sad to watch that happen, especially because of what you're used to. But that, to me, I can stomach that if I feel like the process is right. If I feel like what their plan is a good plan and that there's a payoff coming at the other end of all of this, then I can deal with them being a bad team for a couple of years. I can deal with them being pretty non-competitive if I feel like they are moving in the right direction and I know that we are going to get rewarded after all of this. And I don't think you can ever know for sure there's going to be a reward coming, but you can feel confident that the front office knows what it's doing, that ownership is going to be committed to helping the front office make whatever vision they have become a reality. And I don't have, in this moment, reason to think that those two things aren't going to happen, that the front office doesn't have a good vision or that ownership is not going to support the front office. I don't know that to be the case for sure, but I feel pretty confident in this moment that the Cardinals are moving in the right direction and do have a good plan. It is up to them to stay on the accelerator and to keep it going and not let up when they're close. But as of right now, I feel pretty good about the direction the organization is heading.
Really great comments on here. Hey, look, it's Lyndall Scranton from Springfield, Missouri. Said, good show. I covered many of the Cardinals' top prospects at AA the last few years. Look forward to watching the youth movement over the next couple of years. I agree. It's well said, Lyndall. Lyndall knows his ball, that's for sure. There was also a note in here about Keaton Wagler of Illinois. You can't go through the recap of the weekend without mentioning Wagler dropping 46 at Purdue, most ever by an opponent at Mackey Arena. This Illinois team is legit. Mizzou won on 2 buzzer beaters, one to get to overtime, one to win it in overtime. They slipped by Oklahoma. They still have work to do. They're not as good as SLU, in my opinion, and SLU's not as good as Illinois.
Drop
Illinois
Purdue out of the top 10.
Really?
Yeah. They're 12 now, both polls.
Illinois is awesome. What did Illinois get up to?
Illinois is 10 in the coaches poll. They are 5 right now. No, I take that back. I'm sorry. Yeah. They're 5 in the Ken Palm. They are 9 in the AP.
I see them right there. Boy, they're good.
Yeah, they are.
Thanks to Matt Pajeski, to Frank Ladd, to Bob Ramsey, to Amy Markscores. For Chris Ranji, I'm Tom Ackerman. The Gashouse Gang. We'll be back tomorrow with the big dog, Bernie Miklasz.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.